Warning. Tomb of Annihilation spoilers ahead. We rejoin Nala the Druid, Bedikas the Rogue, Zayli the Ranger, Torin the Paladin, Lucanu, Zandala, Zale, and Boblia on the 6th and final level of the Tomb of the Nine Gods. The party has just cautiously entered the room where the Soulmonger, the artifact of ancient evil that started this whole quest, is guarded by a gigantic, malformed creature linked to it by a twisted umbilical cord. Souls of the nearly damned swirl around the container, and the party glimpses, in no particular order, Pox, Tlad, and Orvex. Their souls do their best to watch from inside the glass, though it is clear the constantly moving miasma of souls is difficult to resist. Before we continue, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel. It helps me out a lot. The Trickster Gods have words of wisdom for each of the players. Moa whispers to Zayli,
"Hey girl, we need to free those souls trapped in the Soulmonger."
Papa Zodal whispers to Torin,
"I believe the Atropol is weak to radiant damage, though killing it might summon Asarak the Eternal."
Obalaka whispers to Nala,
"I'm concerned about the bones in the northern alcoves. They might rise up and attack."
Unk whispers to Barakas,
"Maybe we should try and communicate with the Atropol. Perhaps it is just misunderstood."
Shagambi whispers to Zandala,
"This is an Atropol, and it is an unholy abomination. Destroy it at once."
Zayli, Torin, Zandala, and Nala have shared what knowledge or musing their spirits have imparted. Barakas, however, has kept Unk's advice to himself. His reason remains unclear.
"I'm not sure what to do about the bones, guys. What happens if they come alive and attack?"
Why don't we just throw him into the lava?
That's not a bad place to start.
Ooh, pick Bedikas. Bedikas likes bones. Working together, the party painstakingly clears out every single alcove and launches the bones into the lava. The bones catch fire and burn to ash. While the party work to throw the bones in the lava, the Atropol has paid them no heed, merely floating around the Soulmonger minding its own business. It constantly gibbers in a language none of the party understands.
How are we going to fight this thing?
Why don't we draw it towards the room we fought the hags in?
That could work. We could keep ourselves from being exposed to attacks from the side.
Zayli spends a few minutes analyzing the Atropol's behavior, looking for weaknesses or to glimpse any information she can. She ascertains the Atropol is indeed vulnerable to radiant damage, though it appears immune to cold damage, necrotic damage, and damage from non-magical attacks. Guys, I can feel Hissy's presence somewhere above us. The Rada security has ended and the slaves are back in the palace ruins.
Why did the slaves leave the rod's protection?
I think the time they had in the rod ran out.
Well, there's not much I can do about it now, is there? What are you thinking?
Lucanu's eyes flick to the Atropol.
We're going to have to engage with this at some point. What's our plan of attack? We're working on it. Understood.
The plan is made. Zayli will hit the Atropol from a distance with an arrow in order to draw it in or near the room where the party engaged the Sown Sisters. Lucanu, Torin, Barakas, and Nala will attack the Atropol at range, while Zayli and Zandala attack the Soulmonger with lightning arrows and fire magic. As they position themselves, Zayli knocks her first arrow, squints slightly at the Atropol, and fires. She clips the Atropol and the creature shrieks horribly, forcing everyone to steady their bodies against the racking pain. Torin, Barakas, Nala, Lucanu, and Zale already appear slightly exhausted, an omen of worse things to come. Zayli, can you throw a silence on this thing?
Shut up, Torin. I was literally about to do that.
Okay, sorry, jeez. The fight is starting to get ugly as tempers run high. Zandala concentrates and an inferno erupts on the Soulmonger as her first fireball finds its target. Small cracks appear in the crystalline glass, but the artifact of evil is very much intact. Bedikas knows just what to do in this situation. Barakas immediately pulls out his accordion and starts playing a song. This one is higher energy than his normal favorite, perhaps owing to the severity of the situation. Zayli silences the Atropol before it can shriek again and is rewarded with a soundless shriek from the horribly deformed creature. Zayli did, however, sacrifice her lightning arrow spell for concentration on the silence. With non-magical arrows, her best course of action is to maintain the silence as long as possible.
You guys better make good use of this time because I just gotta sit here and watch.
Her words would prove unfounded as the Atropol moves out of her silence bubble and shrieks even louder, causing Torin, Lucanu, and Zale to stagger with newfound exhaustion at trying to shrug off its horrific pain. Zandala causes another fireball to erupt on the Soulmonger, though she successfully catches the Atropol in the blast. The Atropol shrieks with rage, though at least this shriek was harmless. Mostly. The Soulmonger is beginning to show large cracks, and blue light begins to shimmer through them as souls press against their confinement, eager to escape.
Nice hit, babe.
Nala concentrates a small vestige of light in her hands before it erupts into a sunbeam, centered right on the Atropol. Its undead flesh is horribly scalded by the power of the sun, though the Atropol responds in kind by blasting Nala with an ice beam. Zayli casts lightning arrow on herself and focuses her efforts on hitting the Soulmonger, causing lightning damage to radiate everywhere. The Atropol is seemingly unaffected blasted by the storm, but the Soulmonger appears to be barely intact. Torin and Null are doing everything they can to keep the Atropal's attention as they blast away at its ridiculously bulky body. As the Atropal looks ready to emit its deadly shriek again, Zandala creates the most powerful fireball she can. The Soulmonger explodes, sending a myriad of lights cascading out as the bright souls held within coil through the air like a tornado and blaze upwards, vanishing with a blinding spectral flash. The adamantine struts supporting the Soulmonger immediately break as the Soulmonger explodes, sending everything into the lava below where they slowly dissolve. The Atropal, seeing its food source destroyed, howls with rage as it flies towards the party, intent on consuming their souls. The party is, of course, ready for this and focuses their remaining attack power on the Atropal. The Atropal dies with a horrible gasp and a shudder as it is knocked out of the air. Its body lands on top of the lava with a wet thud, and the once monstrous undead slowly burns and dissolves into nothingness. But something across the room catches Zaylee's eye. A skeletal figure wrapped in moldering robes and clutching a skull-tipped staff appears on the south balcony. Hateful pinpricks of white light burn in its eye sockets, and a 2-foot diameter sphere of utter darkness floats in the air beside it. Acererak the Eternal has arrived. The next episode is the finale of Tomb of Annihilation, as everything comes to a head with the most powerful Archlich in the multiverse. Depending on a few precious moments, the party could survive this encounter or be wholly annihilated. The finale will premiere on Friday, March 19th at 12 o'clock Pacific time, and I will be there live to watch it with you. I hope to see you there. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media. I'll see you all next time.